Hello and welcome to Deconstructing Worship, a series of positive and constructive conversations about the current culture of modern worship.
I'm your co-host, Steve Quantick.
And I am your co-host, Kyle Treble.
Hi, welcome to this special introductory episode of the Deconstructing Worship podcast. We just wanted to take the opportunity to introduce ourselves a little bit so that you can get to know us before you start listening to the episodes. So my name's Steve. I'm a session guitarist and a guitar teacher based in Cardiff. So I play for a few bands, including a hardcore band that you'll see the bass player from on a later episode. A really good friend of mine called Davey. So I'm married to Katie. I have two amazing kids, and I'm a full-time dad to them when I'm not doing the music side of things. I'm also regularly involved in all sorts of worship events. I play at my local church. I've played at conferences. So I've had a whole load of varying and weird and wonderful experiences of playing on worship teams.
I am your other host. My name's Kyle Treble. I am a musician as well, session musician, and my main kind of gig is music teaching, specifically the drums. I also play in a band with this wonderful gentleman that I co-host this podcast with, and I have one amazing wife. Her name is Helen, obviously one. And I have an amazing, beautiful... amazing, beautiful, precious little boy. He's 4 now. He's just started school, which is kind of super hard because I miss him to bits. So it's kind of such a pleasure to kind of jump on this podcast and can't wait to kind of see where it goes. And Steve is just kind of give a little background to kind of where this podcast idea came from.
There we go. So during lockdown, basically, you just end up having a lot of conversations about the things that were a regular part of your life, and the things that you maybe like to see change about them, or like things that you love about them and miss about them. And a lot of these conversations, because I know a lot of musicians, had kind of turned to musical worship, But basically, what we've kind of discovered is that there's a lot of great things that we love about worship that we miss, but a lot of slightly odd things that we don't miss and would love to see change. So I just kind of had this loose idea of starting, a podcast, getting some friends on to chat about worship culture. And Kyle got in touch and asked if he could co-host it with me. And I, of course, 100% said yes, because he's, one of my closest mates, and we always have a lot of fun when we hang out. So we've recorded 4 episodes at the time of recording this, and we've had so much fun. It's just been absolutely brilliant. And people are just so hungry to talk about this as well. We have booked out episodes weeks and weeks and weeks in advance. And it's just so, obviously, and we kind of feel like that's not really anything to do with this amazing podcast idea that we had. We think it's just that, this is it means that other people are having the same conversations that we're having, and they're really hungry to talk about it.
Yeah, I think for me, that's the most exciting thing about it, isn't it? Like, you put this idea out there, and then everyone we've kind of mentioned it to have kind of been like, oh yeah, I can't wait to kind of either listen, or the people that we've kind of asked to guest on have been really excited to join on. So I'm just going to kind of give a brief overview of what we'll kind of get into over the kind of coming seasons. So basically, we want to, kind of Steve kind of stepped on this, and we want to just dive into the worship culture, and we want to take kind of an uncynical, because I think when it comes to kind of these type of conversations, they can get quite cynical and kind of just end up kind of just hammering on about the things that, that needs to change and this needs to change. And we don't want to be that place. We want to kind of just talk about the things we love about worship in general, things that we love about the worship culture, but then also ask those questions that maybe some people shy away from, where we can actually get the conversation going. And we want to make sure that no matter who is guesting and who is listening as well, because we want you guys to get involved and send in messages with anything that you guys feel like they're on your hearts to do with this. But we always want to make sure that we can kind of take it in a direction that is going to build people up, is going to edify people, and is going to take the worship culture that we'll be talking about in a greater and more amazing place.
Exactly. And we kind of, one of our kind of guiding principles, isn't it, is like to deconstruct in order to reconstruct, because we think the solution isn't to do away with, worship culture and worship music. That it needs to evolve and change, and not that we feel like we've got all the answers, but it's just really good to kind of start the conversation, isn't it? And just to get the ball rolling and start talking about things that maybe people don't feel like they can talk about, or or just things that haven't occurred to them.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about the fact that we've got guests every week, and it's not just me and you monologuing about the things that we think could be the best way, or this and that, and because like we gotta, like, everyone needs to be humble enough to kind of go, you know what, I have these ideas, and bring your ideas, but also we may not have everything right as well. So I'm really excited to hear other people's views on these things. And I remember, like Steve said, we're kind of 4 episodes deep so far, and the last episode, I was just getting so much from myself, and almost challenging me as well in kind of the way that maybe I will naturally approach something. My wife will also kind of like help me in that area too. But yeah, I can't wait for people to kind of listen to this and get involved in the conversation as well. It's going to be awesome.
Amazing. So yeah, find us at Deconstructing Worship on Instagram, and you can find us on YouTube as well. Really looking forward to journeying with you, Kyle, and with all our guests. And everybody at home, or on the commute, or on a jog, or on a bike ride, or walking the dog, or abseiling down a mountain. Would you get Wi-Fi up there? I don't know. You probably have to download the podcast first. Yeah, be fine. But yeah, everybody who's going to be listening, can't wait to journey with you.
Yay!
Yay!